So now that you know a little bit about our name, let's spend a couple minutes talking about our philosophy of ministry. Now, Good Youth Ministry's philosophy is going to be based out of the whole church's vision and philosophy of ministry. And so let's start by looking at First Friends. And they have 3 points to theirs, and it starts with restoring people. And then after that, it moves on to growing disciples and leaders, people that follow after Christ, but then also lead others to do the same. And then finally, it ends with reaching nations. And I really resonate with this vision and mission for our church, and as a whole church, we try and programmatically center the things that we do around these key principles: restoring people to the Father's heart, growing disciples and leaders in Christ-likeness, and reaching nations in the Spirit's power. Now, as a youth ministry leader, I have some things that are really important to me, and so over here on the left-hand side, you'll see this upside-down crown. And just playing off this theme of an upside-down kingdom that Christ is calling us to live out as we embrace our name of Flipped. And there's 4 real key things that I want to define a youth ministry that I'm leading. And it starts with community. I really want youth group to be a place that people feel like is a fun thing to do and a fun place to be at. I want it to be a rich community where people feel valued and really feel cared for by leaders, by other students, and it's a place that they want to show up to each and every week. And so that community piece is first and right there as being really key. Next is I want our students to be worldly focused, not consumed by the world, but to know what's going on in the world and to know how they can reach out to hurting and broken people in the world around them, how they can walk alongside those people and care for them and point them towards Christ, and to be with them in the midst of their pain, to know what's going on in the world. The next part is I want our students to be personally engaged. You know, during the middle school years, it's a huge time because it's when students' faith starts going from being their parents' faith to being their own faith. And so I want students to have their own quiet times and to want to get into worship on their own and to want to really engage with their faith as saying, you know what, this is me, this is how I identify myself as a Christian and as one who wants to follow after Christ. And so we want to create opportunities that students will personally engage with their faith. And then finally, I want our students to be radically outreach oriented. So many kids are afraid to invite their friends to church or to share who Christ is with them. And I want our students not to be afraid, but to feel like they're equipped and prepared and enabled to do this whenever a conversation might come up. And so the programming that we'll talk about in the next video is a reflection of this philosophy of ministry. And you'll see that there's really a tied togetherness of First Friends and the youth ministry, that we both want to restore people in community, that's where that happens is as we relate to each other, that we both have a care for reaching out to the world and for outreach, and that we want to grow disciples, and that's part of what being personally engaged with your faith means, is it's growing and following after Christ.